We saw your wrist.
So anyway, Bobby, you think about it, and I want you to think about it. I've read the Constitution. Got a copy laying here. I've read it, and just my limited knowledge of history, those people there is just as guilty as anyone that's ever been a traitor in the history of this country. And they won't like me saying it, but I'm telling you, I'm not trying to convince you or anyone else that sees this. I'm just telling you it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
You do not aid the enemy, and you do not discredit the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and you do not discredit the United States of America, especially if you're a congressman or a senator and you take an oath of office. And you do. So I'd say those 45 people broke the law,
Right.
and they should be tried. Charges should be brought against every one of them, and they should have a jury to decide if one by one if they're guilty. It's sabotage at the less.
At the least.
At least the sabotage. I mean, hell, years ago you die on of that. If you turn against your country.
To elaborate on that, let me ask you this: the Kennedy years, the Nixon years, all the way up to Pelosi, as far as I know, I can think of 3 other instances though, where a senator or congressman or somebody on the cabinet has gone into subvertedly, behind the scenes.
Right.
I think Bobby Kennedy did it with the Russians.
Yes.
Pelosi did it in Iraq. Kissinger did it in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he helped her a heck of a lot.
Yeah, but all that was kind of behind the scenes
Right.
and under the covers. So, to speak of, this is the first time they've ever publicly posted such a thing.
Right.
As opposed to subvertly contact Iran and say, look, you need to be aware of this. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying.
Right. See,
It's
Bobby.
the politician side
right.
of the equation.
You cannot display or advertise what you're going to do.
Right.
You can't do that. And I hate to keep going back to football game, but when you got in the huddle call a play, just get both teams over. Say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw this ball to number 12.
Right.
They already know. We told them both sides. But this is what we do. And sometimes the media and need to know is put this country and cause people to die.
Right.
Just because we put out information we shouldn't. It's almost unsafe to be a double agent or anything else, because eventually somebody in Congress or the Senate, because they want to make a name, will tell the media, tell somebody,
Right.
oh, Bobby is a double agent,
Right.
and of course one side is going to kill you, so we know that. So I don't know why we advertise what we're going to do. I think that this deal in Iran right now with atomic. If I know the guy from Israel comes over and he gives a big speech and says that all we're doing is helping them make a nuclear weapon. That's not so true. What we're trying to do is keep them from making it right now. And the other side, what he wants to do, there's no doubt about it. He wants to protect his people. So what they want to do is to get the U.S. to go along with it, because we pay them money, we buy their weapons, we do it. They don't have nothing. Israel don't. We do it all for them, money-wise. But they got good people and a good military and a good Air Force. But remember, we're paying for it. Plus, we furnish the equipment. So what they want to do is go over and knock Iran off of the map, so they can't make a nuclear war. They want a war.
Right.
You got to remember, you got other countries over there.
Right.
You got 3 of them in wars right now. First thing you have Egypt involved.
Yeah, we haven't
Saudi
got
Arabia
ISIS yet.
again, right? You get them all involved in. So the Middle East is just a hotbed, and we need to let them solve their own problems. And when you say that to somebody like Paul that wants to run for president, Ron Paul, from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed of him at times. He wants to run for president, fine. Maybe one day he may make a good president. Right now, he wouldn't make a good second lieutenant. And I can tell you that right now, because they keep saying, we want boots on the ground.
Right.
The boots has got something in it. It's not a 10,000 pair of boots walking through there.
Right.
It's 10,000 people in those
10,000
boots.
men and women.
And if
right.
you send 10,000 people over there now to get involved in that damn war, I guarantee you, you at least have 20% KIAs are wounded. And when I say wounded, legs, arms, everything else.
Right.
So who would sit up in Congress in Washington, D.C. and say, well, let me tell you something, says, 1% of the U.S. joins the military, less than 1% to defend this country. We don't have a draft. My daughter and son ain't going. But the other people, they let them go. Who cares about them?
I'd be more than happy to send them.
Yeah, send them on over there, right? And we're gonna give them $100 a month for extra combat pay, okay? And so they're gonna make all kinds of money. They're gonna make $1,200 extra a year fighting a war over there, and I'll make that much in an hour.
Right.
See, with all my kickbacks and lobbyists give me
Book
money
deals
and all that.
Yeah.
See, so Ron Paul is completely in the left field. I'm surprised at Senator McCain because I respect and love him because he's PW all these years.
Yeah.
But I can't understand why he would want to put troops on the ground. He knows.
Yeah, he's
Well,
been
he
there.
knows. He's went through it. He knows that. You don't need troops on the ground.
Well,
Those people fight their own war. If they can get it done in a year, fine. If it takes another 10,000 years, they've been fighting for 10.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, regardless of what happens, they're going to fight for another 10,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that now.
I think maybe in McCain's instance, he's actually a flyboy. So he'd run his missions. He's back at the airport at the end of the day.
But he knows.
You would think, right?
Yeah, he knows
make
what
sense,
the
right?
ground. So I've never heard this. Totally ridiculous. They want to take his town back over in Iraq. We was over there 12 years. We taught them. We trained them. We did all this, and then we moved out, and they didn't learn anything. One shot was fired, and the entire Iraqi army
Fell apart.
fell apart. And not only that, they issued all this billions of dollars worth of new equipment to Isaacs. They give it to them.
Might as well have, yeah.
They got, you ought to see the equipment they got.
Oh, I've seen it.
I mean, brand new stuff. They got
Stinger
better stuff.
missiles, the whole nine.
Right. All, what we kept, we brought back. So if we go back, we have to haul all that stuff back.
Right.
I mean,
And
it's
try to
a,
take back what we left the first time.
it's a right. It's a big supply route. So it's completely stupid, Bobby.
I like that
Yeah,
King of Jordan. He decided he doesn't have a whole lot of planes and a whole lot to work with, but he's taking ISIS on face to face. He doesn't care.
Well, they executed one of his pilots for no reason at all.
Yeah, that was
Put him
sick.
in a cage and cut him on fire. And once your troops find out, once your troops really believe that you're not going to look out for their welfare, you follow me?
Right.
They will not do their best. They'll
Right.
do less.
If at all.
They'll start looking out for themselves if nobody else looks out for them. But the American soldier is a great soldier, and he'll follow orders and he'll give his life for his country. But he's got to know that all of us, including those politicians and everybody, will look up for him, and he will not be left behind. I don't care how we do it. We'll bring him out alive. But if it's not, we'll bring his body out. We won't leave him there for the animals to eat. We won't do that. He's got to know that he'll come back and join his family.
Bobby's online too.
Who?
Bobby.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me